At the very beginning of the story, we are introduced to a man named Manji and his sister, Maki, who has become mentally disturbed. The entire cause of her condition was Manji himself. Acting on the orders of his superior, he had killed a person said to be corrupt. However, when Manji later discovered that his superior had lied and the man was not corrupt at all, Manji turned on his superior and killed him along with all of his men. Tragically, Maki's husband was present during this confrontation, and Manji killed him as well. His sister witnessed this entire bloody affair with her own eyes, a trauma so severe that it caused her to become mentally disturbed. Following these events, Manji took his sister into his care, but he was declared a wanted man for his actions. One day, while Manji was in the forest with his sister, he encountered a mysterious woman who had been alive for the past 800 years. As he was speaking with her, a large group of bounty hunters suddenly appeared, their goal being to kill Manji. They immediately seized his sister, Maki, and took her hostage. The leader of this group demanded that Manji put down his weapons. Manji complied with this demand, dropping his swords to the ground. Just as Maki began to walk toward her brother, the group's leader brutally killed her. Witnessing this, Manji was consumed by an immense rage. He unleashed his fury upon the group, killing every single member one by one. In the ensuing chaos, Manji sustained horrific injuries. One of his eyes was severely damaged, his face was slashed, and one of his hands was completely severed during the fight. In the end, only the leader remained standing, and Manji killed him as well, but by this point, Manji himself was critically wounded and on the verge of death. It was then that the 800-year-old woman reappeared. Manji pleaded with her to end his life, telling her that the last reason for his existence was now gone. Instead of killing him, the woman planted sacred bloodworms inside his body. These worms miraculously healed all of Manji's injuries, his severed hand reattached to his arm, his wounds closed, and not only that, but Manji had now become immortal. He was now ageless and could never die. The movie's scene then shifts 52 years into the future. We see a dojo where a master is teaching his students, and his daughter, Rin, is also training among them. Their peaceful session is violently interrupted by the arrival of Anitsu, the leader of a society known as the Ido Ryu, along with his followers. Anitsu's ambition was to spread his society's influence everywhere, and he would kill anyone who refused to join his cause. When Rin's father, the master of the dojo, refused to join, Anitsu killed him and then his wife as well. However, he left their daughter, Rin, unharmed. Consumed by rage and a desire for vengeance for her parents' deaths, Rin decides to seek retribution. At this moment, the same immortal woman who had healed Manji appears before her. She advises Rin that she cannot succeed alone and should hire a bodyguard. She suggests seeking out Manji, whose immortality would make her quest much easier, as he can never be killed. Rin agrees and sets out to find him. After a long search, Rin locates Manji living in a small hut. When Manji first sees Rin, he is deeply shocked because she looks exactly like his deceased sister, Maki. Rin explains her entire story and asks for his help in avenging her parents, but Manji initially refuses, telling her that people will only see him as a murderer. As Rin is leaving, dejected, she spots a man on the road who is a member of the Ido Ryu society, identifiable by the skull mark on his left shoulder. Rin attacks the man, but he easily defends himself. Manji arrives at that moment, and a fierce fight erupts between him and the Ido Ryu member. The man injures Manji and then turns his attention to Rin. Just as he is about to kill her, the wounded Manji rises and attacks the man from behind, killing him. The man died completely baffled, unable to comprehend how Manji survived. Afterward, Manji reveals his ageless nature to Rin and finally agrees to help her get her revenge. Meanwhile, Anitsu is seen finalizing a contract with another man to open an academy under the Ido Ryu name, with the condition that he alone will be its head. Rin spots a man near a temple carrying her father's sword. Manji goes to find this man, but the man finds him first. During their intense battle, Manji gets stuck in a swamp, giving his opponent a significant advantage. Despite this, Manji ultimately defeats the man but chooses to leave him alive. The man, having witnessed Manji's abilities firsthand, now knows that he is immortal. Manji retrieves the sword and returns it to Rin. The defeated swordsman returns to Anitsu and informs him of Manji's immortality, describing him not as a man but as a monster whose wounds are healed by worms. Later, while Manji and Rin are in a restaurant, another man sent by Anitsu arrives to kill Rin. This man first offers Manji a chance to team up and kill Anitsu together, but Manji rejects the offer. Immediately after, the man attacks Manji. Manji seemingly kills him with his sword, but as he turns to leave, the man stands up, completely alive. He reveals that he, like Manji, is also immortal and has been alive for 200 years. He then attacks Manji again, and this time, Manji's body starts bleeding uncontrollably. The man had coated his blade with a special poison designed to weaken the bloodworms in Manji's body, preventing them from healing his wounds. The man then seizes Rin and takes her with him. Just as the immortal man is about to kill Rin, Manji arrives. Another brutal fight begins. Manji thrusts all of his weapons into the man's body, but it has no effect. The man applies the poison to his sword again and lunges at Manji, but Manji grabs the poisoned blade and uses it to cut the man's body into pieces. This was all part of the man's plan. He had grown tired of his long life and wanted to die. Elsewhere, Anitsu receives permission to run his academy and is overjoyed, as now all schools will have to follow his orders. However, he is then informed of the immortal man's death at Manji's hands. To deal with Manji and Rin, Anitsu sends his most loyal follower, a skilled female warrior. She finds and immediately attacks Manji, who is still weak because his wounds have not fully healed. She injures him severely, even cutting off his hand with her sword. But in that moment, she realizes she has no personal reason to be fighting him. Rin then steps forward with a sword and declares that Manji is protecting her, and she will not let him die. This incident prompts the female warrior to leave the Ito Ryu society. Rin bandages Manji's wounds. The next day, while practicing in the forest, she comes face to face with Anitsu. Unable to control her rage, she attacks him, but he easily evades her strikes. He reveals that he killed her father to avenge his own grandfather, and then leaves without harming her. Later, Manji and Rin meet a boy from another group that also wants Anitsu dead, so they join forces. They learn that Anitsu is traveling to a specific location and plan to ambush and kill him there. They follow his path, but soon discover that the person they are following is not Anitsu, but a woman dressed in his clothes. It was a trap. They are surrounded by Ito Ryu members. During the ensuing fight, the boy from the other group tries to assault the female decoy. Rin stops him, but he then turns on her. Manji intervenes, cutting off the hand the man was using to attack Rin, and the man flees. Manji takes Rin home, tends to her wounds, and tells her the story of how he lost his own sister. Later, when Manji is out, he finds a letter from Rin and understands that she has gone alone to take her revenge, not wanting to endanger his life any further. Manji immediately sets out after her. Meanwhile, Anitsu meets with the council that was supposed to grant his academy official status, but they now refuse, revealing they had trapped him. The council's men surround Anitsu, who begins to flee just as Rin arrives. He tells her that the Ito Ryu has been declared illegal and that she should run for her life. In another scene, we see that all members of the Ito Ryu have been massacred. Manji is also ambushed in the forest, where men put a chain on his hand and begin to attack him. Before they can kill him, he cuts off his own hand to break free from the chain. His hand heals and reattaches, after which he kills all three of his attackers. Back with Anitsu and Rin, they too are surrounded by a large force. A man comes to kill Rin, but Manji arrives just in time and kills him. Manji warns the men that if anyone tries to kill Rin, he won't leave a single one of them alive. On their leader's order, they all attack. Manji and Anitsu fight back to back against the overwhelming numbers. During the prolonged battle, Anitsu is injured, and the same female warrior who had left him earlier returns to save him. Manji is also heavily injured. The man whose hand Manji had cut off reappears and kidnaps Rin. Manji kills everyone remaining, but in the fight, the female warrior is killed while saving Anitsu, sacrificing herself for him. Manji goes after the man to save Rin. The man has attached sharp weapons to his severed arm. He tells Manji to drop his weapons, but Manji, not repeating his past mistake, keeps a small knife hidden. When he gets a chance, he cuts Rin's ropes, and she escapes. During the fight, both he and the man fall off a cliff. Manji manages to save himself, but the man grabs onto a vine. The man yells that he will return to kill him, after which Manji cuts the vine, sending the man falling to his death. Elsewhere, Anitsu, furious that the council killed the woman who saved him, cuts the council leader's body in two. Now, only Manji, Rin, and Anitsu are left. The final fight between Manji and Anatsu begins. After a long and exhausting duel, Manji finally defeats Anatsu. However, he does not kill him, leaving that task for Rin. Anatsu warns Rin that after his death, his children will surely take revenge on her. As Rin approaches to deliver the final blow, Anatsu makes a last attempt to kill her, but Manji saves her. Rin then kills Anatsu with her sword. Due to excessive bleeding from his many wounds, Manji collapses, unconscious. In the end, only Manji and Rin survive the battle, and with that, the movie concludes.